नमो वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Chapter 8, Question by King Parikshit. Text 1. Rajo uvacha brahmana chodito brahman guna vyakhyana gunasya cha yasme yatha praha narado deva darshana.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Translation. King Parikshit inquired from Sukdeva Goswami, how did Narad Muni, whose hearers are as fortunate as those instructed by Lord Brahma, explain the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is without material qualities, and before whom did he speak?
Text 2. Etad vedu tumichami tattva vidambara harera dota viryasya katha loka sumangala. Hare.
Translation. The king said, I wish to know narrations concerning the Lord who possesses wonderful potencies are certainly auspicious for the living beings in all planets.
Text 3. Kathayasva mahabhaga yathahama khilantmani nivasya nishanga manasyaksha kalevaram.
O greatly fortunate Sukdeva Goswami, please continue narrating Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind upon the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna, and being completely freed from material qualities, thus relinquish this body.
Text 4. Sunavata Sraddhaya Nityam Grunataksha Swachestitam Kalena Nati Dirgena Bhagvana Visete Hati.
Person who hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously, will have the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna manifested in their hearts within a short time.
Text 5. Pravistata Karnarantrena Swanam Bhava Saroruham Grunati Malam Krishna Salilasya Yatha Sarat.
The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, i.e., Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus it acts like an autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water.
Text 6. Dhautmatma Purusha Krishna Pada Mulam Namuchati Muktam Sarva Pariklesha Pantha Swasharanam Yatha.
A pure devotee of Lord, whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotional service, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him, as a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey.
Text 7. Yada dratu mato brahman deha ramoba asya dhatubi yada chasya chaya hetuna va bhavanto janate yatha.
O learned Brahmana, the transcendental spirit soul of different from the material body, does he acquire the body accidentally or by some causes? Will you kindly explain this, for it is known to you?
Asidyada udrata padmamam loka samsathana lakshanam yavanam yavayam vayi purusha tattva vaya parthak tavana asvat iti prokta samastha vayava vana iva.
If the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whose abdomen the lotus stem sprouted, is possessed of a gigantic body according to his own caliber and measurements, then what is the specific difference between the body of the Lord and those of the common living entities?
Text 9. Aja srujati bhutani bhutatma yaduno grahat tadrusheyena tadrupam nabhi padma samudra bhava.
Brahma, who was not born of the material source, but of the lotus flower coming out of the navel abdomen of the Lord, is the creator of all those who are materially born. Of course, by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to see the form of the Lord.
Text 10. Sachapi yatra purusho viswasthita yudhavapyaya muktatva atma mayam mayesa seti sarva guhasaya.
Please also explain the personality of Godhead who lies in everyone's heart as a supersoul and as the Lord of all energies, but is untouched by his external energy.
Text 11. Purusa vaive loka sapala purvakalpita lokera musva vayava sapanairati shushuma.
O learned Brahmana, it is formally explained that all the planets of the universe, with their respective governors, are situated in the different parts of the gigantic body of the Virat Purusha. I have also heard that the different planetary systems are supposed to be in the gigantic body of the Virat Purusha. But what is their actual position? Will you please explain that?
Text 12. Yavan kalpo vikalpo ya yatha kalo anumeyate bhuta bhavya bhavas shabda aryumanam chayata sata.
Also, please explain the duration of time between creation and annihilation, and that of the other subsidiary creation, as well as the nature of time indicated by the sound of past, present, and future. Also, please explain the duration and measurement of life of the different living beings known as the demigods, the human beings, etc., in the different planets of the universe.
Text 13. Kala shayanu tu lakshyate kshanavi ruhatyapi yavatya karma gatayo yadushidrij jasatama.
O purest of the Brahmanas, please also explain the causes of the different duration of time, both short and long, as well as the beginning of the time following the course of action.
Text 14. Yasmin karma samavayo yatha yenopagruhyate gunanam guninam chai parinamam vipashatam.
Then again, kindly describe how the proportionate accumulation of the reaction resulting from the different modes of material nature act upon the desiring living beings, promoting or degrading him among the different species of life, beginning of the demigods down to the most insignificant creatures.
Text 15. Bhupatalaka kubalyayo magraha nakshatra bhupa bhutam sarita samudra deepanam sambhavamascha tado sakam.
O best of the Brahmanas, please also describe how the creation of the globes throughout the universe, the four direction of the heavens, the sky, the planets, the stars, the mountains, the rivers, the seas, and the islands, as well as their different kinds of inhabitants, takes place.
Text 16. Pranamandalakoshasya bahyabhyantarbedata mahatam chanucharitam varnashram vinishayas.
Also, please describe the inner and outer space of the universe by specific divisions, as well as the character and activities of the great souls, and also the characteristics of the different classification of the caste and orders of social life.
Text 17. Gunani yugmanam cha dharmo yascha yuge yuge avtaranucharitam tadakshayar tamahare.
Please explain all the different ages in the duration of the creation and also the duration of such ages. Also, tell me about the different activities of the different incarnation of the Lord in different ages.
Text 18. Nunam sadharano dharma savishescha yadusha shreninam rajashrinam cha dharma krocha chekshu jivatam.
Please also explain what may generally be the common religious affiliations of the human society, as well as their specific occupational duties in religion, the classification of the social orders, as well as the administrative royal orders and the religious principle for one who may be in distress.
Text 19. Tattvavanam parishankhyanam lakshanam hetu lakshanam purusharadan vidhi yogashyatmikasya cha.
Kindly explain all about the elementary principle of creation, the number of such elementary principles, their causes and their development, and also the process of the devotional service and the method of mystic powers.
Text 20. Yogeswara swarya gati lingaba bangastu yoginam vedopaveda dharmana mitihasa purayano. Hare Krishna. Sorry if I have made any mistake. Please forgive me.
What are the opulences of the great mystics, and what is their ultimate realization? How does the perfect mystic becomes detached from the subtle Aristotle body? What is the basic knowledge of the Vedic literatures, including the branches of the history and the supplementary Puranas? Hare Krishna. Please forgive me for any mistakes I've made.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Indra Mataji and Usha Mataji. Usha Mataji especially stepping up in the last minute. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances, everyone. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, devotees, everyone, for listening for the prayers. Today, I've been given this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, verse number 4. Shranvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Svacheshtitam Kalena Natirthena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, manifested in their hearts within a short time. I was wondering if anybody, any volunteer could just read the purport. It's a very small one, if that's okay.
Hare Krishna, can I try, please?
Please, Mataji. Thank you so much, Malika Mataji.
Thank you. The cheap devotees or materialistic devotee of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualifications. Such third-grade devotees should know well that material attachment and seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. It is not such a mechanical process that the professional Bhagavatam reciters can do the job on behalf of the third-grade materialistic pseudo-devotee. The professional men are useless in this connection because they are neither self-realized nor interested in the liberation of the audience. They are simply interested in the maintaining the material establishment of family attachment and earning some material benefits out of profession. Maharaj Parikshit had no more than 7 days to live. But for others, Maharaj Parikshit personally recommends that one hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, Nityam, always by one's own effort and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see the Lord Krishna's manifested in one's heart within no time. The pseudo devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any serious effort to hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and without detachment from material benefit. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Maharaj Parikshit, who heard and benefited by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Thank you for allowing
Thank you
me
so
to read.
much, Mataji. Thank you so much for reading that out. What a wonderful purport. It just tells us so clearly. I mean, I am
Yes.
not at all eligible over here even to sit in this place and just read the purport, Mataji. I mean, most of us are not. And the only very pure devotees who can really do the seva of the Bhagavatam. This is what exactly it is said, Bhagavatam should be, Bhagavatam is the two things, the person who's reciting and the Purana, both. So we have to do seva for both. So Bhagavata seva means seva for the devotee who's reciting, like the spiritual master who's the pure devotee, and the Purana itself. So it is so important that those who do the seva, they get the knowledge. So if your example, you can go by how Narada Muni, how he was in his previous life, how he was among the rishis and he was doing the seva, and that's how he could get the association, sadhu sangha, and the knowledge from there, and then that brought him closer to the Lord. So Srimad Bhagavatam, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? First of all, they say it is the Amala Purana. First of all, Puranas, again, Srila Prabhupada tries to say that Puranas are again a different category. They are again in the mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of Sattva Guna. So Srimad Bhagavatam comes in a Sattva Guna Purana. It is a Amala Purana. And you all of you know that Vyasadeva wrote so many Puranas and he was still not very happy. Then Narada Muni told Vyasadeva to write this Bhagavata Purana. After that, he was fully satisfied. So, Srimad Bhagavatam comes under the Sattvic Purana. Now, when we look at this Purana, you should see over here both the listener and the speaker, both of them should be of very high consciousness. Otherwise you will not even get the effect of it. So, when we see Sukadeva Goswami, such a very, very pure consciousness, is telling the Purana narrating it to Parikshit Maharaj, who is also a pure devotee of Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj was over there. I mean, he was thinking like, should I be listening or praying to God in the 7 days? What do I do? But actually, by listening, you could actually change your consciousness so much. He gave it to all. I mean, this Purana has been given to all of us who are so materially attached. And why is this Purana the topmost Purana? Is because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, like, it is because this Purana teaches nothing but devotional service. From beginning till the end, it only teaches devotional service. How to be closer to Krishna and how to do devotional service to Krishna. By reading the Bhagavad Purana regularly, slowly your material bonds will be detached. And then you come closer to the Lord. And then you do this devotional service, and then hopefully at some point of time, we might, if all our sins are if God is very merciful, then you might go back to Godhead. So I just wanted to bring out some of the things which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said, and if I may. So how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. It's mostly in the Antya Leela, it is, Yeah. So basically, this is the conversation going on, between Sarvagna Vishnu Swami, no, Devananda Pandita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's asking, like, to hear, like, please tell us, like, which is the best Purana. And what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that while teaching Bhagavatam, you should not explain anything else other than devotional service. That is what it is. And what is in the beginning and middle and end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is just only devotional service to Vishnu and nothing else. And over here, the Srimad Bhagavatam describes only the glories of devotional service. There is no literature in the entire world equal to Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says. And the various incarnations of the Lord headed by Matsya and Kurma appear and disappear. The Srimad Bhagavatam, which is not composed by man, appears and disappears by its own sweet will. So basically, they're trying to say, like, how this is Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but Bhagavatam is nothing but Krishna himself, the pastimes and the stories of Krishna. So only the pastimes and the glorification of Krishna is only revealed if you actually apply your full mind and attention and with full consciousness, you got to listen. That's why they say when we listen Bhagavatam, we have to be very attentive. Not like, oh, we are cooking, your mind is somewhere else and we're doing this and okay, there's a class this way. No, we are supposed to listen every day and with full attention, with full consciousness, because we are talking about Krishna and the whole Bhagavatam is nothing else than Krishna. So by not even giving attention to someone, it's like a guest coming into your house and then you're not giving any attention to the guest, they feel very offended. This is how Krishna also will feel offended when we are not listening to Bhagavatam. So we become, I don't know, in this world, nowadays, in this present world, we are so much after time, but we don't realize time is also Krishna, Kala. So how we are disrespecting in that way. So even if we give that 5 minutes of concentration when Bhagavatam is going on or whatever, you will, that particular half an hour or something, we feel more detached than anything else. Obviously, Maya is so strong, it will pull you into it. So that is why to remove that pull, we need to take the help of these very pious scriptures. So these granthas, big granthas, Grantha Purana, Grantha Bhagavata, which is the most auspicious Purana, we need to take help of that. And it should be narrated by a pure Bhagavata. So pure Bhagavata. So by narrated by a pure Bhagavata with full consciousness, the story comes out so beautifully and so differently. All of us are with so much engulfed in Maya that our stories also can be a little bit depending upon how the thought process is. But Srila Prabhupada says that we have to preach, everybody has to preach about Krishna. So that is how we take on this stage. But actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is an eternal literature. This is what Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. And so it is very, very important that we understand Srimad Bhagavata, and we have to be qualified to even recite that. So also Srila Prabhupada in his own ways, how he glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam. And people in the beginning, they were not at all believing that Srimad Bhagavatam, it was, you have to understand, you have to go into the minds of Srila Prabhupada, how much of effort he's taken, because Srila Prabhupada, as a single person, has gone to a very foreign country and trying to teach something which is so alien to them, and trying to also provide in so many ways the evidence of how this is the best Purana, this is the best book, and how much of effort he takes to explain. And also we have to, like in the West, when we go, we need only evidence all the time they want. So he has to go back to scriptures to say what things are there in previous scriptures. So he has to really show the evidence. So I'm just thinking about Srila Prabhupada, how much of pain Srila Prabhupada has taken to even translate all this for us to even read and listen. So Srila Prabhupada tries to say that this is the most supreme Vedic literature, and it's a spotless literature. And he explains about why we should do it seriously. And actually, if we do it very seriously, apparently one shloka will take at least a month to read. And imagine the 18,000 shlokas, verses, and that will take, imagine how many years it will take for us to finish. So Parikshit Maharaj over here, I'm just trying to read from here as to what Srila Prabhupada had written over here. Is that Parikshit Maharaj, he was from the beginning of his life, was a devotee himself, and he was a devotee of Lord Krishna. And he was thinking, as I was trying to say, he was thinking, but he knew that after having that curse, he has to stay only for 7 days to live. Now he's thinking like, what should I do? Whether I shall just pray to God or devote, or I shall absorb my mind with Krishna consciousness. Because he was a devotee of Krishna and many people gathered, they gave him different, services. Maharaja, you do this at time of death and do that and blah, 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 whatever. So he was really confused. But because he was a devotee of Krishna, from the beginning of his life, he inquired whether it is better to absorb the mind in Krishna consciousness. That was his question. So in answer to that question, Srila Sukadeva Goswami replies, Varyaneshati Prashnaha. So he said, my dear king, my dear king, your inquiry is very glorified. Because on account of this question, whatever I shall reply, means the reply is this Srimad Bhagavatam. The question was about Krishna, and the reply is Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. This is what Srila Prabhupada writes, And each and every verse is so important that if a serious student studies each and every verse, each verse will take at least 1 month to understand. And because 18,000 verses, so for a serious study, it will take 18,000 months. So 18,000 months means how many years? 1,500 years. And he was laughing. So it is such an important book, Srimad Bhagavatam. And each verse is a new verse, not repetition of the same subject. And it is deeply thoughtful. And every verse knows, well aware of self-realization. So it is, every verse is stated here is Atmavit Sanmata. That means self-realized. And it is very refreshing. Every verse is refreshing. And this is what Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain, that how important it is. And what is the result of doing? So doing this, before that, so Maharaja Parikshit, because he was given 7 days, he was cursed. So Maharaja Parikshit, see, for him, so now what over here, the context of here is, everybody does the Bhagavata Saptaha. They think like, okay, doing 7 days, he's like finishing it off. That is not the way. That is, Maharaj Parikshit had 7 days to live. Okay, and he tried to learn the whole of he tried to understand the whole of the Bhagavata Purana in 7 days so that he could come realize, he could come closer to God, and then go back to Godhead. But what Srila Prabhupada was chastising over here was that everywhere they go, they do a Bhagavad Satta and they think, okay, I'm done now. That is not how Bhagavata Purana is supposed to be read. It's supposed to be read every day. Every day you have to read Bhagavad Purana. So that, and he tells over here what's the result of reciting and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that, so those whoever understood the subject, whoever understood recited will be cut off from all the material attachments and then develop devotional service and come closer to Krishna. Also, Srila Prabhupada tries to say that this was written by Vyasadeva. So, I mean, he's trying to say like all these books and everything were written by Vyasadeva. So how indebted we are. And Srila Prabhupada tries to say that our life is indebted to everyone. So we are getting, the sun is giving us so much of sunlight. We're indebted to the sun, the air, all the demigods, all the people around you, everything. So we are indebted from the time we are born till the time we die. The most important thing of actually reading, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is that once we become fearless. So fearless of what? We become fearless of death. And that is one of the very, very important thing of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Because as we say, I can repeat many times also, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you're listening to all the pastimes of Krishna, which is transcendental, nothing material. Everything is transcendental, everything is devotional, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. And by doing so, what happens? Slowly, slowly, you are clearing away all the dust from the soul, from your soul, which is covered full of dust. That is where Krishna is sitting there. So you're trying to clear off all the dust and then coming closer, you can see your own reflection. And by seeing there, Krishna is there, you don't have to fear at all. And then you will realize that this body is nothing. It is just another shirt or another dress. The soul just wears this one today. If tomorrow it will wear something, is another new garment, in a new birth, in a new body. So, but people always get scared of death. They really get scared of death. And I can give you my experiences of how I see patients over there. The only thing they get scared is, obviously, of death is the pain. So by actually hearing the glories of Bhagavatam, you don't feel the pain. And I have also heard stories of people saying that they were pain-free when they were reading the scriptures just before dying. I mean, the stories from the relatives saying that they went so blissfully, they didn't show any pain at all. So we are preparing ourselves for the final exam. That's what I would say, by listening to Bhagavatam every day. So we have to make it a habit that, I know we are hearing only of here. I think now our Bhagavatam classes are gone down from every day to, chat has gone down to 4 times a week now. But even if chat doesn't say, then we also at home, we should do our own Bhagavatam reading. And I think we should take it as a challenge, at least half an hour. Srila Prabhupada said half an hour. He said a month for a verse. But even if you take a half an hour of our time and read one verse, just read. You don't have to remember anything. I think just it's a habit you got to make first. And just start reading from page 1. And then you will see it will become so addictive, and then slowly you will start liking to. You feel like as if I don't read Bhagavatam, I'm missing something. And that is because your material entanglement is slowly getting disentangled, getting cut away, and then you're becoming closer to the Lordships. So we should make an attempt, everybody, or at least if somebody can chant the verses or anything they can hear, or somebody else can read and somebody can hear. And they say Srimad Bhagavatam actually should be done in Sadhu Sangha with association. Then obviously the effect comes out much better, which we are doing in the chat. But because we're not doing it regularly, I feel still in between those days, because we are allowing Maya to come enter the house again, isn't it? So in those days, we have to do Bhagavatam reading, at least by yourself or somebody in the house, whoever is there, one person reads and your family members can sit and listen to the Bhagavatam. So I think that as sincere devotees, we should do so that we can cleanse ourselves from these material sins and hopefully be fearless at the time of death, which is the truth and nothing else is the truth. But they don't say even birth is truth. They say death is the reality. And we only know that we are alive because we are not dead. And that is so important that all of us should realize. So we have to be really indebted to Srila Prabhupada for spreading this Krishna consciousness everywhere in the whole of the world and giving us a way how we can deal with this material life and go back to Godhead. So that was something I wanted to say. And also about why hearing is so important. Hearing is, because hearing is different than noise, okay? Sound and hearing is different. So now hearing, how it happens, I mean, you have to understand, like I'm talking to you, right? So all the sound waves are coming and they're going through your ear, okay? And the ear is such an organ which has been obviously developed many, many years ago, many, many millions and millions of years ago. So you have this ear, okay? This ear has a small, like a canal, okay, a path, a small canal, and then we have a small membrane over there. And a membrane, and behind the membrane are 3 different bones. And then there's another one more, little bit like a window, and inside that there's like a very vestibule, very rounded thing what we call cochlea. And that has the special fluids and cells. And that's a special ear organ, which is connected to the brain. So what happens? The sound comes, it vibrates the drum, and the drum, because the bones are attached to each other, the bones just transmit the sound to this inner thing called cochlea. And in that, we have the special nerve cells. And they connect it to the brain. Then what happens? So this is sound. So the sound you have heard goes to a part of the brain where the sounds are processed. So they have another chamber where the sounds are changed into your thoughts, how you do, and your words. And then that goes to a different area, and then it comes out through, it gives signals, it comes out through those nerves which help your tongue and mouth and everything, and it comes out as words. So imagine it takes all that process, and this is just only sound. Even if I make a big noise with the bell, you can hear the sound. But if somebody is talking, so you have to formulate what they're talking and then interpret and understand and then try to absorb. So imagine how much of energy is required and concentration is required. And it can transform people. You don't have to look at anyone. You can close your eyes and you can hear and you can feel everything. So that was one of the things when you look back actually into millions of years is the vibration. The first thing came out was vibration. I think eyes maybe a bit later, but at least even the very oldest organ, they won't have eyes, but they can just, with the vibration they go. So hearing was one of the oldest sense organ. And so it can transform the heart. Seeing may not transform the heart, it can bring in some amount of sensation, but hearing can transform the heart. So that is why hearing is so important. So even chanting. So chanting also is the same, like when we chant, we have to chant out loud because we need to hear what we chant. And that is what which will change us. We're whispering, chanting, all of us do because we're so busy with so many things. But I think chanting out loud is the best thing because you have to hear your own chanting and that will again transform you. That is my understanding. People can differ, but hearing has its own importance. It's connected to the heart and it has to bring change in the heart. So that is why hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and imagine the purest of the Puranas, it is so important that we hear the Bhagavatam. Even when we read out loud, so that when we're reading out loud, first thing is we're trying to keep ourselves awake and with consciousness, and then we're hearing everything and we're trying to understand them. When we try to understand and then try to absorb, that stays in us longer than just hearing unattentively or inattentively. So when you're doing something else and hearing, you can't remember. You won't be able to remember. And then as we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day, you will see changes in you, and also Krishna himself will start revealing. He won't reveal to everyone. He will reveal to persons who he has mercy on. And so are we in that umbrella of mercy or not? How do we get that mercy? So we need to be seen, isn't it? Example of how, I'm sure all of you know about this story. It is like, some devotees will be going to the temple, and then there'll be a blind man, and this person will be saying, why are you going to the temple now? What's the point of you going to the temple? You can't see anything in a way, So saying. So the blind man says, obviously, I can't see, but Krishna can see me, So we need to be seen. We need to be seen. So how can we be seen? By doing things which Krishna loves. That will only attract attention, isn't it? If we don't do things which Krishna loves, then he won't be interested. Krishna will say, okay, it might not be, you can see among your friends, we are a reflection of what is happening in the spiritual world. So whatever happens here, they say happens in the spiritual world, but it's a spiritual, transcendental thing over there. Over here, it is quite materialistic. So we have to do things over here to show that we're able to do, because we have to do the same things in the spiritual world. Krishna wants to test and see whether you can do it here or not properly. What's the point of not able to do here and come over there? No point. So over there, we are supposed to go and serve Krishna. So can we serve Krishna in this material world? If we can't serve over here, what can we serve there? So I think we should walk the talk. So whatever we say, we should do it. So let's start practicing even small things. It doesn't have to be big things. Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He doesn't see that, oh, I've read Bhagavatam, 18,000 pages or 18,000 verses, so and so. No, he doesn't see that. He sees even that one verse or even that one prayer you sing, with how much of emotion you're putting into it and how much of truth and honesty you're doing. That's all he sees. He doesn't, Shabari is what? Shabari is just, the old lady. Sri Rama was so much, blessed Shabari. The same thing, there's so many stories where you go, where people are just pure devotion wins the Lord. So Srimad Bhagavatam is such an important book. So what we say is, basically, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? It is a full narration of all the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is auspicious. So if you have a Srimad Bhagavatam in your house, that means your house is housing Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. And then what, along with Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu, all the demigods also reside there. All the rivers, everything, all the pure things reside in Srimad Bhagavatam. You'll have to tell me when it is time, okay, Mataji? So the real purpose of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is that so that we can be liberated from this cycle of birth and death, and so that we can be promoted to the spiritual world. And the real purpose again is to complete the cessation of this material existence. How will you do that? Through purification and renunciation. Again, it is again said, like same thing, it repeats over there, by careful hearing. Anybody, doesn't have to be only devotee, anybody by hearing can see the material change in them. From non-devotee, they become a devotee, and from them slowly, they will get rid of the material attachment and also the false ego. I said again, by reading Bhagavatam, it enables one to become fearless in the face of death. And that is the most best thing to do. And especially heard from a Mahabhagavata. So Maharaj Parikshit, why he wanted to hear? Because he wanted to become more and more further. He wanted to go into renunciation. Because he was trying to say even homeless sadhus, they become attached to their own physical body and prestige. And they become fearful at the time of death. So this is even if you say, even if you're vanaprastha or a sannyasi, you are still materially entangled. And they, when they're fearful of death, then they can't remember Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit wanted to give up his final attachment to the body and the false ego. And that is why through constant hearing and an association, he wanted to be in association with the Lord. So as I said, again, chanting of the holy name, we have to really, it is a similar to Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing Bhagavatam is also taken in the same category. And as we said, again, just again trying to remind you that while we are doing, when we actually listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to really listen with real intention. We have to be attention. We should be really humble. We have to be quite attentive, quite sincere. We have to be very sincere. And seriousness. Yes, this is like an exam, like a seriousness. I have to read this so I can pass the exam. You also have to be quite eager, and I want to know more about Krishna. I want to know more about these stories. And all the stories over there that tell you how you become, everywhere is written down that you'll become closer to Krishna, closer to Krishna. You have to be quite curious, what's going to happen now? So what happened now? What's going to happen next? We have to be quite patient because sometimes you cannot finish the whole story. Then the next story, next day, we have to be patient and anything, whatever the result is going to be. We have to be very, very grateful. We should show gratitude to all the persons who have written down and the person who's read, to make us at least be part of this. All of us are pure. In some way, God has been given us so much of mercy that we're able to be in the Sangha and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam now. And we have to be quite thoughtful. We should also have that persistence, where I've read this today, I want to finish it tomorrow. I want to read another one tomorrow, another one tomorrow. So we're all doing it for Krishna. So how can you not? Sometimes we say, oh, I have this work, I can't do this, I can't do this. No, we are doing it for Krishna. So we should try our level best to fulfill it as much as possible. And reading Bhagavatam in return of nothing is the best thing, because of your unalloyed love for Krishna. If you can do that, that is the best thing. So I think I will stop it here now. I think nearly time up, isn't it, Mataji, for everything? So I hope it was, Srimad Bhagavatam is a big topic. I thought I'll just put here and there a little bit to say it was just one verse. So over here again, like Prithu Maharaj and Indra Maharaj. So again, see, there are lots of stories which say how by listen to these stories, you can get liberation. By Prahlada Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, all the stories. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Please correct me and please forgive me for my mistakes. And the floor is now open for questions, I think, and then we can start the bhajan maybe. It's nearly bhajan time, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji, we have got Shyam Prabhuji online and Pavani as well. We can follow up with the bhajan, and then we can, if people have any questions, then we can follow up
Sure.
with that as well, Mataji. But Hari Bol,
Sure.
Mataji, Madanur Pranam, so glory to Srila Prabhupada. What a wonderful explanation, Mataji. Thank you so much. As always, very clear and concise. So Mataji, for today's bhajan, we have our dear Shyam Prabhuji. But before he sings the bhajan Bhuliya Tumar, we've got a lovely Pavni who will do the English recitation. When you're ready, Pavni. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I forsook you, O Lord, and came to this world of pain and sorrow. Now I submit my tale of woe at your lotus feet. While still in the unbearable fetters of my mother's womb, I saw you before me. you revealed yourself but briefly, and then abandoned this poor servant of yours. At that moment, I swore to worship you after taking birth, but birth came, and with it the network of worldly illusion which robbed me of all good sense. As a fondled son in the lap of relatives, I passed my time smiling and laughing. My parents' affection helped me to forget the pangs of birth, and I thought the world was very nice. Day by day I grew, and soon began playing with other boys. Shortly my powers of understanding emerged. I read and studied my lessons incessantly. Traveling from place to place, proud of my education, I grew wealthy and maintained my family with undivided attention. O Lord Hari, I forgot you. Now in old age, Bhakti Vinoda is sad. He weeps. I failed to worship you, O Lord, and instead passed my life in vain. What will be my fate now? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful recitation. Beautiful. Um, Sham Prabhuji, when you're ready.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Okay, I'll just start. बोलया तुम्हारे संसार आशिया पिए नविदा व्याता तुम्हारे चरण आसिया चियामी बोली बोधो के रखाता जननी जतारे चिलम जकोना विषम बंधन काशे एक बार प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे एक बार प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे ವಂಚಲಿ ದಿನ ದಾಶೆ ವಂಚಲಿದ ದಿನ ದಾಶೆ ಅಕುನ ಬವೀನು ಜನಮ ಪಾಯ ಕೋಲಿಬೋ ಜನತಾವ ಜನಮ ಹೋಯೋಲು ಪದಿಮಯ ಜಾಲೆ न होयुल जन लावा न होली जन लावा अधीर खेलीरा भजनिरा कोले होशिया कातन काला जनक जननी नेहतीर बुलिया संसार लगीलो बोलो संसार लगीलो भालो क्रमिदिना दीना बालक होया बेलुन बालक साहा अर किछु दीने जनोपजीलो अर किछु दीने जनोपजीलो पतपुरिया आहा पतपुरिया आहा विद्या विद्यारगरावे भ्रमे देशी देशी दाना उपार्जनी कोरी स्वजन पलाने कोरी कमाने बोलिने तुम्हारे हारी बोलिनो तुम्हारे हारी वर्धकाया एकोना बाकाठी विनोदा पांडिया काटराती नभजिया तोरी दिनवृत गेलो एकोना की हवे गाती एकोहना की हवे गाती बोलया तुम्हारे संसार आशिया पिए नाना विद्या व्याता तुम्हारे चरना आसिया आमी बोले बोधियो के रखाता हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू माता
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Beautiful.
I know. Yes, Mataji, please say.
No, Mataji, I just wanted to say it was just so beautifully sung. Beautiful bhajan.
Very
Yes.
nice.
थैंक यू
Thank
Yes,
you, Shem.
thank you, Pavani, and thank you, Sham Prabhu. Absolutely wonderful. You have really enlightened us. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mamta. It's wonderful class. I really appreciate also. It's really nice, very sweetly, and you have used your medical explanation of our ear.
and how our the sound vibration goes in the ear and how we process and how we can goes to the heart. Our knowledge can be taken in, and so that we can apply in our life and purify our life. And how Srimad Bhagavatam is so wonderfully written, benefit to be out of this material world to go back to the spiritual world. Such a wonderful explanation. Thank you very much indeed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mamta Mataji, Madanot Pranam, oh glory to Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, I just want to say a wonderful reflection, if I may share, Mataji, because you said find 30 minutes to read Bhagavatam, and I have been saying this to myself for some time to read Bhagavatam, but 30 minutes is not something I have scheduled. And a reflection is that why can't we bring 30 minutes to read Bhagavatam? So I just want to say thank you, Mataji. Something I have reflected on, and I hope by Krishna's mercy I'll be able to read for at least for
Yes.
30 minutes. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. I think let's take a sankalpa, we should take a sankalpa and let's do it. I think tomorrow is Ekadasi. So maybe we could take a sankalpa and we could do just half an hour of the time, not much. Because that is your own, this chat is something different with the sadhu sangha. You're sitting with everybody and doing it. But your own, you start reading, you will see how it becomes. You will see a big change. It doesn't take much, I think. We should try.
Hare Krishna. We also have a group where we discuss Bhagavatam with the two people on, and it's really wonderful. We read one verse and we sort of take a little sentence or little part of the sentence, and one person just understand the whole verse step by step, and the others try to understand the same thing in their own word. And then if somebody has a different understanding, that's also go around. And this is the way we progress understanding the whole verse. It's a very wonderful way of discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. We learned from Chintamani Mataji with the protocol, and we are using it sort of every week. So it's a very nice way to get inside the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh, very nice, Mataji. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing the story. Very nice. I mean, it's really, I think that's so nice that it's commendable that you're just doing that.
It is very nice. We started many years ago, and we're still carrying on, and it's really nice. We started with Bhagavad Gita, and now we are in Bhagavatam, and it's really, really wonderful. It's very enlightening.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any corrections, Mataji? Anybody, please?
Nothing at all. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
It was
Krishna.
wonderful class, perfectly explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Sundari Mataji. Absolutely wonderful.
It's nice to hear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mamta Mataji, my humble obeisances unto you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It was so wonderful listening to you, and you sing so devotionally, so well, and it's coming from so much purity. And today you glorified the Bhagavatam, and it was so blissful to listen that, in our lives, Bhagavatam is Shri Krishna coming to our lives, and we should always be dedicated to listening to Bhagavatam as well as reading Bhagavatam. You explained very beautifully. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So should we just say our prayers then? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Sindhubhyaiva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namaha. Thank you, Mataji. Lovely
Thank you,
class.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad
Hare
Bhagavatam.
Thank you,
Mataji for the
Mataji.
wonderful class.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you for
for the
listening.
wonderful
Thank you so much.
class. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
so
Mataji.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna,
much.
Mataji.